You know, something I didn't realize until after I got into the tanning business. And I'm not talking about dead animals and things. I'm talking about sunbeds and changing the pigment of your skin, vitamin D production. One of the things that I didn't realize until quite a few years into the gig, that one, vitamin D is so important, and two, not all tanning beds are created equal. Let me explain. I didn't understand. We had another salon in town, and she had a way older beds and just the old school 20, right? The old school 20-man beds, little guys, 32 lamps and less, 100 watt, 20 minutes. Back in the day, they were like 30 minutes. I couldn't even believe that. And man, I just could never understand why she'd never upgrade her equipment. And it was years later, and I'm like, that's why. But unfortunately, you kind of do got to change, right? I mean, you got to bring some of the newer stuff in, or else, somebody will come along and beat you on price and be able to sustain low price for a long time. And, you just, when it's price alone and not value, you run into problems. But I never could understand why she never changed her stuff, and I always thought maybe it was because she couldn't afford it, which, could have been true. I mean, I've seen in 20 years I've been in, I've seen units go from like basic units going from 3,000 to 8 to 12,000. I've seen high-end beds go from the largest, the most expensive bed on the market when I came in was ETS's Velocity 918 and the SS 755. I liked both machines, had all three. I had the 918 Velocity and the Velocity 1000. Loved them both. Loved it, dude. Velocity 1000 was a house favorite, man. Oh, it was so awesome. But, they were $32,000. And now beds can reach up into the $120,000, $130,000, not including install. We're talking just the bed. Insane. But back to the story that, not all tanning beds are created equal. The downside, the older beds were far superior if you're looking at pure vitamin D production. If you're looking at the body to produce the most amount of vitamin D, the most important hormone vitamin that our bodies have, every cell has a receptor for that particular hormone, the vitamin D hormone, or vitamin, whatever you want to call it. And old school 20-minute beds, hands down, you would produce more vitamin D than any new bed. Even then, seeing 20-minute beds are kind of obsolete. Now it's kind of into the, the 10-minute and 12-minute beds, the huge 160-watt lamp units and the 200-watt lamp units. We have some that are quite a bit larger than that too, but they are bronzing beds. The new beds out are called bronzing beds, and so their vitamin D production is way lower. I don't care what anybody, numbers never lie, and newer beds flat out vitamin D. That's why you always are like, man, I don't feel like anything's happening. It's just the nature of the beast. Regulations just blame your politicians. So you have to do a lot more in order to achieve the same results. But you know, the newer beds have, like, you know, misting and aroma and air conditioning and all that, which not really much of that is for clients. I mean, it's promoted as such, but it's, you know, AC is to keep the bed cooler, because a lot of salons in the beginning stuffed these big beds into tiny rooms and they needed help cooling down. And so the ACs are to help the bed actually retain an ambient air temperature. Aroma is because people don't use lotion and they stink. It's called after tan odor, and it smells. And the aromatherapy actually kicks on. Well, you can set it, my beds are, where it goes and freshens the room throughout the day, even while it's not in use. And of course, the misting is not just distilled water. It's not just water. It actually has things. So the more hydrated the skin is, the more color you get, because the newer beds need all the help they can get. Hence the high pressure facials. Now with red light therapy in there, it helps promote more of that blood flow, which helps achieve more of a instant feel of color, but not necessarily longevity or any of that kind of stuff. So just some things I never really was aware of until you know, I was seasoned. But it always fascinated me. We're talking probably the first 5 years, because I couldn't understand. I was just like, yeah, newer beds, just cooler. But as time goes on, and the more that I do tan, man, the older stuff, you'll just tan a lot less. You don't have to do it as much. Anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. Till next time, go get a sun hug.